Hello everyone and welcome to Being this Universal Conversation with myself and Wada. Today we'll be talking to a young girl based out in Pakistan. She'll be telling us about the journey of living out in Pakistan, the struggle women go through and how she's overcome that to find her joy. But most importantly, she'll be telling us about her own journey, the reason why empathy, the word empathy means so much to her, and how if we tend to apply that in our own lives, we'll see a difference that makes, even the way we interact with each other. Let me tell you a little bit about my guest. My guest is Warda Waseem. She's all the way from Pakistan. She's going to discuss her recent struggles that she has had to overcome, as I said. Wada shares details about her life and gives insight on how she works to uplift others. She has a job. She's very young. She's only 22 years old. She's from Pakistan. Her goal is to build a community where empathy is the only brick to follow. She wants to leave a legacy behind for generations to come. She's got a YouTube channel and an Instagram account at Warda Waseem, and I believe you guys should try and check that out and follow her page, learn more about her work, learn more about what she's doing to encourage women in Pakistan, and not just women, men, to freely talk about their own pain and suffering. Meet my amazing guest, Wada, as we share her story. Well, hello everyone and welcome again to Pain is Universal Conversation with myself, Anne Welsh. I am based out in London and I have an amazing guest out in Pakistan. And she'll be telling us about her own journey and why empathy is the only way out. You know, we go through so much in life, but one thing we tend to forget, the critical ingredient, which will solve most of our problems, the way we handle people, the way we deal with people, is that word empathy. Let me tell you a little bit about my guest. If you haven't listened to the introduction, she is Warda Waseem, and she'll be telling us the struggles that she has had to overcome, living in Pakistan, of course, being a woman, being a very strong woman, and also someone who's out there to motivate others through her YouTube channel, her Instagram account, and many more. How are you?
I am good. Thank you very much for the interview. And then the way you have actually said things about me, it was really, thank you very much for introducing that way. Actually, this is the first time when somebody's talking about me that way. And it is truly an honor, first of all, to be here. And yes, what you have said, the word empathy, that's the only word that I have been working on throughout. It took me so many years. I wouldn't say that I have been working for very long. I'm just 22 at the moment. And yeah, I started understanding this term, understanding this word, not because I was entrusted, but because I have been through all this,
Yeah.
It has been a journey, or you said it has been a struggle, where I was not able to find somebody, or I was not able to, you can say, find the right people who could tell me that it's absolutely fine to go through suffering, or it's absolutely fine to face hardships in life. Then the only thing that I understood was it's not their mistake. It's actually not their mistake that they're not understanding, or they don't understand the pain or suffering that somebody else is going through. It is because it is the lack of empathy. It is the lack of the emotion that they don't have in themselves. They're not able to put themselves in somebody's shoes or feel the pain that they are going through. So I could understand that if I am the one who's suffering, and I couldn't find a hero, or you can say a role model at that time that I had difficult times or hardships or anything. I couldn't find anybody. So I was like, okay, let's start to be the one. If you don't find the hero, be the one that you want to see in the world, the change or the struggle that you are seeing through. If you want to change that, be the one. Yeah. And that exactly is how I felt like Instagram or social media or these platforms are the right way to say what I wanted to actually. And I would want to share whatever. I never wanted to hide whatever I was going through. It was depression, it was anxiety, it was most importantly, it was trauma. Yeah, importantly, it was trauma. And then importantly, it was a social pressure. Being someone from a from a background of number one, being a girl, number two, being an Asian girl, and then number three, someone who always wanted to show up and stand apart from everybody else. So it took me a long way so to to stop the stigma around women, specifically in our country and around the globe as well. There's so many things that girls forget about women. The girls want to talk about, but they don't get the right chance. They don't get the right platform. Like, people come up to me and they share stories like very minor. They want somebody to at least listen to them,
Like,
somebody to hear them, but they don't have that kind of people. So I, at my end, I would like, on your platform, Painless Universal, I want people to see and understand if they have anything in their heart, and if there is something that is disturbing their mind, and something that is disturbing their spiritual peace, satisfaction, they should come up, they should talk about it, and we are here and ready to listen to them.
why can't have said that better? You are an amazing young lady, Wada.
Thanks.
I mean, seriously, I was reading your, listening to your YouTube channel. I watch your Instagram account, and I just can't believe your age. You're just 22, and you have seen it. You know what exactly you human being should be. That before we get started, even do more discussion, if someone is to ask you in simple words, who are you, Wada? How would you describe yourself?
uh Thoughtful question, by the way. I have never thought of this, but to be very honest, I don't know who am I, but I would want to be someone who's always in the first in the queue to help others, because I was not able to have that help. So
Yeah,
I want to be that help to the world. Like, they come up to me and they know this is somewhere they will get some mercy, some kindness, some empathy. This is the most the world actually needs. What else can I give you, or you can give me? It's the one smile, or one gesture, or one good word, or a good heartfelt note that I can tell you that this is going to be fine. It's going to be all right. That's all the world actually needs at the moment.
that's truly true. So when you look at your background growing up, because you feel there's so much wisdom. I mean, I'm just so fascinated. I want to keep talking to you. I don't want this conversation to end. When you look at your background growing up, what were you like as a little girl?
So basically, I started off studying, at school level. First of all, mostly importantly, when I started off school, it was exactly the time where we were told, it was our family, it was the background, it was the society, it was the culture, and it was the country as well, who had a very harsh and firm belief that girls should not go further to achieve their dreams. So the first hurdle in my own life and my own journey, it was to study, right? I had to constantly fight for my right to study. Like, do you not believe that I don't have the right to study? I do have that right? you
Absolutely.
know yeah. So in a country where girls were considered less privileged, apart from being a brother, as let's suppose a girl has a brother, sister and brother, they would prefer men to move in the society, because, oh, girls should sit in the home and stuff. So the first hurdle that I faced was having the right primary education. Then God's mercy that I had that. Then I went to the high school, and then I had that education as well. And now, right now, I am doing graduation in mass communication, and I have not completed it. It's the last semester. Hopefully, I'll complete my degree one day.
You will.
And yeah, and I was 16 years old when I started off the job. It was a very basic job, just to make sure, because my family couldn't afford the education that I wanted to have. So I said, okay, I'll earn for my own self, and I'll do whatever I want to in terms of education, most importantly. So yeah, that was the first step. I was the only, there were like 43 girls in a row, and I was the youngest of all. I didn't had any degree, any college degree. I didn't had anything. And I was so nervous and I was so scared that this guy will ever offer me a job. These are people who are having 10, 20, 25 years of experiences as well. So, but yes, then I went in and he asked me, I'll share you a very short thing. He asked me, so how much salary do you want? Or what salary do you expect? So I said, see, I don't want a salary. I want a chance. Can you see a child asking for a chance? Imagine.
Yeah.
I told him I don't want a salary. I want a chance. If I prove myself right, then you offer me a salary. And he was like, okay.
I was 16. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, okay, fine. Then yes, I started off there 16, 17, and then 18. I was 17 and a half when I got married. Yeah, it was you can say it was what my family wanted. The society wanted a girl to get married as soon as possible, and then get settled and have child, and then that's all she wants. People want to see in life. So okay, I got married as well, and to be very, very honest, I am speaking to you at the moment is because of my husband only. Gladly and fortunately, I had a partner who was like very, very supportive. So yes, I got married when I was 17 and a half, like 18, almost 18. And then it was a phase, it was a time where I actually went through, I never had understanding of this word depression, because country like ours, society like ours, they don't understand this depression. They're like, okay, whatever, we have been through it.
You
Yeah.
should be
Yeah.
man it up,
Yeah.
tough it up. You're a woman. You should not show emotion outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So as soon as I got married, I had a miscarriage. So it was the time when my health was like, if I start talking about it, my soul feels really heavy. So yeah, it was the time when I actually felt that I'm not in a good state of mind. I'm not in a good state of health, actually. My body is not well, my spirit is not good. So I started talking about it on Instagram. I wanted to share it with the world that I'm going through something. There's some feeling that I don't understand, but it doesn't let me sleep. It doesn't let me, I'm happy. I have all kind of facilities, but I'm not happy. It's a loss so big. It's a loss so big. It's a trauma, you see, that I don't even understand what state I am in. So I started talking about that on Instagram or other platforms, even in my family or around the friends. And the first thing that I, a question that came onto my face was, how is your husband allowing you to say things like that on social media? Why are you sharing such stuff on social media? So I was like, okay, so now I don't even have a right to speak up what I'm actually feeling. Like depression at that time felt me like what's the right word? It felt like a winter season that would never end, right? It will stay longer and longer, and I would never want to do anything in life. And if I'm talking about it and I feel like talking about it, so I cannot, because I'm a girl and I should be ashamed of, oh, you had a miscarriage. I actually believe at your platform, I want people to understand that the word miscarriage itself is a word, it brings hurt. It brings hurt, you know.
And one thing I know, going to your story, because I've broken all this down into different dissects. And one thing I like about you, Wada, is that you are open and you talk about it. But I'm just going to draw you back before I even get into the miscarriage, the marriage. What is it like? Because the Western media, the media in general, paints a gloomy picture of growing up in Pakistan. And I'm sitting here, I'm sitting in front of a very beautiful girl who is fortunate to marry a very good man as well. We don't even think things like this happen at all, that people
Yeah.
can find good men to marry. We have this whole story when you Google Pakistan, the first story that comes up is women being beaten up, women being raped, and women not having a voice. And there you are, you're always there surrounded with a very lovely husband who is actually lets you be the woman you want to be. What is life like in Pakistan?
So basically, I would not say that, I would never say I'm not happy in a country. So no country, I'll tell you what, no country is bad. no country is bad. It is the people, it is the mindset, it is the perspective that brings in people in on the page. And then you have to face that, and then you have to suffer it. There are good people, there are bad people that make up a country, that make up a society, that brings up a culture. It is your mindset, it is your perspective that does not help other. Either good, use it in a good way. So I live in a country where are good people, like my husband. He supported me always. I look up to him and I wonder what kind of a man is he.
Mm.
He is like always shows up for whatever I want to. He never asked me to stop. Like people told me, if you're getting married, he won't let you study or continue study or do a job or anything like that.
Mm.
But he's the same guy living in the same country who helped me to, go through everything else. So it's the people, it's the culture, it's the mindset that holds you back from being kind.
Yeah.
It's never the country. That's what I have personally observed you know
I like that. And
yeah.
as a married woman, you got married at very young at 17 and a half, almost 18. And what was it like as a young girl, being so young? I got married not youngish, 26. What was it like as a young girl getting married? Did you know you physically, mentally were prepared for this new life with your husband? Was it something you've always wanted?
To be very honest, I was a girl who was seeing all these things from a very, very a mild age. I do not study, do not go here. I had dreams, but I was continuously told, stop it there. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. So you have to settle down. You have to get married. You have to have kids and stuff. So, it came in as a shadow that always was behind. That one day, sooner or later, you
Yeah.
have to get married. So to me, I accepted that reality. I never backed off from that. So what I did was, as a partner, I asked my husband, I told him, if I'm getting married to you, this or that are my, you can say dreams, or you can say something that I want to do in life. We were very clear. People ask me, oh, how's married life going on? So I would say it's not always one person. It's always two persons in a relationship. It could be any relationship. It always two. You know, the problem, the actual problem is that, let's suppose you are facing some problem or I'm facing some problem. We don't listen to each other.
Yeah.
You know, I urge people to come and sit and talk about what they are actually feeling. So if I didn't had that spirit to come up and talk to my husband what I was feeling and I wanted in life, do
Mm.
you think I would be sitting over here?
No, no. And it's so
So
good that you had that courage to do that.
yeah, it takes a lot of courage.
Mm.
And then if, when somebody says and talks about what they want in life, now it's your duty of the person who's actually listening, how you will respond. Are you the man or a woman or a person in society who will shatter the dream of somebody who's sharing their very, very young dream, or very, very small dream in life? Or are you a person who will tell that, okay, if I'm not leading you, I will be there at your back. You go, you step ahead, and I won't lead you, but I'll stand behind you.
Yes, that is
So
it.
we'll
Oh,
Yeah, so we were very, very clear on these terms. I do have two sisters. I do have two younger sisters. So I was very clear that, see, if I'm doing job, if I'm earning money, it's because number one, I need it. And number two, it's my sisters that I want to do something for them.
mm,
It's not only my dream, it's my mother's dream that she wanted to see me at a certain position or place. And importantly, if you go back to the post number one on Instagram that I have, and to the post today that I post, you'll see a very, very major difference.
wow.
You'll see somebody who had this long open hair, a very flaunting and a cherishing personality, you know.
Mm.
But then incidences in my life happened to be a way that my identity was questioned. You're getting my point?
Yes.
That, oh, you are an Instagrammable girl. you are not a marriage material, nobody will marry you, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a question on my identity. I felt like, okay, is this because my hair are not covered, or the way I dress, or the way I talk, or the way I walk is because people or society will not accept me? Is
Yeah.
this because? So then I started, I like, okay, let's do this their way.
Yeah.
If this is how they want, let's start doing this. So that was where my journey with this, hijab, the scarf, it started off. This is where I started. So to the people in life who's actually listening, or who will listen to this, I want to thank them, to whatever they said, to whatever I have been through. They have helped me to nurture and to grow and to be able to speak up today.
That is
I
so.
would like to, I have no hatred. I have no regrets. I have no complaints. I am thankful to them for doing whatever they actually did. And this is who I am in front of you. Thank you very much.
Oh wow, because this has really helped you grow. You said in one of your podcasts that you released, about being married, and because you were married, you lost your job.
Yeah.
And can you tell me about that journey about losing your job? How did that affect you?
So it was the same job that I got as a child who was like 16 years old. And it was the same job that I lost because of being married. So I would not question anybody. I know, I understand the criteria and whatever it was, but uh, I was actually, I was up almost dying, to be very honest. I was on a deathbed and I was dying. And I requested that if I can rest and then come back. So I was told that I cannot. And then I said, okay, no problem, it's fine. And then again, after recovering and miscarriage and whatever happened in those 4 months, I was completely hospitalized. uh, I went back to them and I requested that I want to continue with the job because it is important for me. I can't leave my sisters. It is very, very important. They go to schools and colleges and universities, so I want to continue with this job. But I was told that they don't want to they don't want me to work. It's because I am now married and I have to start a family sooner or later or whatever, and they don't want their work to be disturbed at all.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a moment where I held myself accountable that in life, I'll make sure to tell people that getting married or being in any kind of relationship or whatever it is, it does not hold you back from doing what you want to. It
Absolutely.
is the ability, it is your will. If you want to do it, you will do it. It is a hard and poor misconception that, oh, a girl, like you are a woman, you understand what I'm saying and what I have been through.
Yes.
I was told I was told that I'm useless because now I'm married and I cannot work anymore, because someday in future I'll be having a family and all my attention would be there. So today I ask people, I am doing everything that an unmarried or a married woman can do. I'm going hand in hand. So what holds me back? It's nothing. It's
Yeah.
here only,
Yeah.
it's in the
And
brain.
you're your own limitation. And this is what we have to constantly remind ourselves. We are our own
Yeah,
limitation. But we tend to forget that. We think, oh, it is that person. We put blame games on other people and say, oh, this because of this person, I can't do that because that person said
that's right.
I'm being nasty about the job. No, if they say this, you find your own way and pick yourself up, find ways to go around that
Absolutely.
corner. This is one thing I love
Absolutely.
about you, Wada. And you also talk passionately about miscarriage. This is something I'm so happy you shared because a lot of people go through this daily, marriages and various things. What advice would you give
Yeah.
everybody going through that pain on how to find hope in that difficult time?
See, there's a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. I was suffering, and she came up to me and she told me, it actually I'm sorry. So she told me that, Varda, have you ever seen rainbow? I said, yes, I have. So she said, do you see how many colors it have?
Beautiful
So I
thing.
said, okay. I said, okay. And then she said, Varda, this miscarriage word is just one color of that rainbow, and you still have other colors in life.
Oh,
So That is exactly where I saw hope.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that's where I stopped crying over it, I stopped regretting over it, and I started talking about it. And then I swear people would come up to me, girls would come up to me, and they were like, where do you gather this hope? Where do you get it from? It till date, it wasn't only one miscarriage, to be very honest. The next year, the same next year, same date, around 2 or 4 days, gap of 2 or 4 days, I had another miscarriage. So it was a multiple of two now.
Yeah.
So the reason that I talk about it is because women needs to understand it is a part of life, and if something happens, you're absolutely allowed to speak about it. You're absolutely allowed to tell your family or to tell everybody that you're not feeling well. It's your mental health that is not feeling very good. I have been talking about mental health awareness throughout. It is because I have been through it.
Mm.
I have suffered. I didn't like talking anybody. I never wanted to move out of the bed. It was less of the physical pain and more of the trauma that actually society gave me.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a miscarriage. Oh, you had a miscarriage. Oh. So you understand? It
Yes.
was it was them who made me question my own self. And I was so fool that I was actually questioning myself. But then I was like, okay, no more questions, no more regrets, no complaints. This is how it is, and we will face it. We'll walk towards it. Whatever it is shall be the best in our favor.
Wow, that one, how beautiful. I saw a post in your thing that says, find the magic that's hidden deep inside of you. How can we find our magic that's hidden deep inside every one of us?
Oh, well, the magic actually, it comes, as I said, it comes from your own perspective, your own thoughts. There were times that I never wanted to talk to somebody, and I would go to my washrooms or my room, and I would just stand in front of the mirror and I would ask myself, is this what you deserve in life? I would daily question my own self. Is this what you deserve in life? Is this how the life should treat you? I kept on questioning myself continuously, you know. And then the same mirror, it tells me that you are capable, you're worthy. It is just a phase of life, and probably sooner or later it will pass by. If it is mental health, if it is physical health, if it is financial health, whatever it is shall pass. One day it will pass. Whatever, I very believe in this. Whatever it is shall pass.
Yes,
Good days, bad days, it will pass. So that is where I see the magic.
that
I
is,
see people, I see people like you, and I see magic. If you guys can do it, everybody else can do. That is where I see magic. If I'm talking to you, 10 other girls will talk to you. This is where I see magic.
that is true. That is truly unbelievable. I love that whole concept of the way you see magic. I love, you said, I'm done with pain and now I'm consuming it. This is healing. Can you explain that paragraph? I'm done with pain and now consuming it. What does that mean?
Yeah, so it was a whole 2 years on a very, very poor health. I was not able to do anything. I was not able to walk up or do any job and start my own career. I had plans, I had vision, I had a motive to live by, but I was not able to do it because of my physical self. And that physical self was actually down because of my own mental health, you
Yeah.
know. So it was the time when I decided that, okay, fine, I'm going to break the barriers of my own thoughts. I'm going to move out of this. And this pain that I'm facing, I will turn it into a joy.
Yes.
Whatever pain it was, I had to do it for my own self, importantly, and for the people who actually loved me and supported me throughout. Here, a very important point I would like to add, because I'm very certain that people will listen, because it's your platform and it is a way to convey a message. So I want you to understand that it's not always girls or women
Mm.
facing the stigma or facing the barriers or facing hardships. It is men as well. you know I actually, as a woman, I feel sorry on behalf of all the women or all the girl. I feel very sorry, because we haven't allowed men to show up or come up and tell that they're also not feeling well.
Yes. We've not given them
Yeah,
a voice.
yeah. Who are we to take the choice from them?
Mm.
You know, I saw myself and I saw my husband. I would never say it's a miscarriage that I faced. It's a miscarriage, or it is a condition that we faced and we suffered. As a woman, I can come up and talk, but as a man, it is such a poor taboo that he cannot talk about what he is feeling.
Yes.
Why? Why can a man not come up to you and tell he's not feeling? Why then masculinity comes in? You
Mm.
have to be that one woman. You have to be the one person where a man can come. He can be your brother, he can be your husband, or he can be whatever, your good friend. You should give him that ability that he should come up to you and open about what he's actually feeling. There is no this should not be a stigma. It is a very, very poor condition in our society that a man cannot cry. Why? Doesn't he like feel the pain? He does.
Yeah.
And I want all the men to understand that we respect their struggles, the unseen struggles that they go through.
Yes.
It could be my husband, it could be yours, or it could be anyone's. It could be anyone's brother or father.
Son.
Yeah, son, absolutely. It's a pressure. It's always a struggle that they're going through. We
Mm.
can talk about it, but they're not allowed to, just because of the society that we have developed and the mindset that we have developed. So I
And
want you to understand, and I want every woman to be this comfortable that men can come and open up
yeah.
what they're feeling, how they're feeling. It's okay to cry together, get out of ways out of it, understand each other.
Yeah.
It has been a very, very strong, you can say, a vision of mine, that men should not suffer alone. They do have a voices that is always unheard, always unheard. I
Yeah.
have seen everywhere. It's not my country, it's not your country. It's always unheard. And this is what I don't like. I appreciate all the efforts, I appreciate all the struggles that men go through.
Yes.
It always.
I started realizing that after once I had my son. It's okay to see the husband because you're used to it. But once I had my son, I said, this little boy is not having a voice, so he's scared to use his voice, he's scared to show emotion. And then you feel that pity in them because he wants to cry, he wants to say things, but he's always scared because society is almost groomed in such a way
Yeah.
where he can't show. So I'm really honored that you said this. Wada, before I let you go, you were a beautiful young girl. I've kept you up. You're based out in Pakistan. I've kept you up very
No
late.
problem. Thank you.
It's just for a place like Pakistan and the rest of the world, what would be your message to women out there who are struggling to find their true identity, going through anxiety, mental pain, or you name it, struggling to find their identity? How would you teach them to utilize empathy to find who they truly are?
Okay, so whoever, be it a woman or a man or whoever it is going through hardships, the first important thing is that what I have learned, and I have experimented that as well. If you want to find joy, it is important for you to speak up. People don't speak up, they keep it inside them. And that is why it becomes difficult each day. When you start speaking up, it is exactly where you start realizing and accepting the reality. And when you accept the reality, a sense of accountability, self accountability comes in. And when there is sense of accountability in your own self, in your own personality, that is where empathy works, you know?
Yes, that is
So it is very, very actually important. So it is very, very important to be self-accountable, be
true.
empathetic, be kind to your own. I have never been kind to my own self throughout. And
Mhm.
then I realized this is something that I'm doing wrong. So being kind to your own self is the most important step. Be generous to yourself. If you have hatred in your heart for your own self, and if you don't trust your own self and you don't have confidence in your own self, there's no way that you can show it to the world.
Yes.
Yeah. So first, we need to work on ourselves, and then it will reflect to the world. I have read it. Be the change that you want to see.
That is amazing. I will definitely leave it with that great quote. Be the change that you want to see.
Yeah.
Wada, based out in Pakistan,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining Painless Universal Conversation. You were truly amazing. And I really do wish that you keep shining, you keep motivating others, you keep lifting men and women up in your own very unusual way. I really applaud you. Thank you so much. Any final words?
I really loved being here. Thank you for having me on the show. And I wish there will come up people who always wanted to say something. They will come up and they will talk about their hardships and struggles and their stories on how they were able to find joy and hope. Thank you so much. Thank you.